Hello everyone, welcome to the report card of Jimmy Rings. I didn't think they'd make it season 2, but they did, so here we are. Writing still feels very off, but it's still night and day compared to season 1. I don't buy the whole Chief needs to find faith. Chief always had a laser focus, an innate belief in himself and his cause, and humanity even when his body is at its breaking point. I think the opening fight scene with the cloaked elites was damn good TV. Also, this title sequence finally has Halo music. Even though at this point the writing is underwhelming, I think it is a much more cohesive product. It looks like they actually want to make a Halo show. Shocking, I know. Also, when Chief takes off his helmet, this time it's fine. It's a safe zone, you're in the Pelican, makes sense. This show still takes itself way too seriously. No one so far feels like they like each other. Hell, at this point, I don't even know if they know each other. Chief still has a superiority complex. He's always off script, he's always doing his own thing, disobeying orders as a drop of a hat. This is very much a conflict. In the previous entries, he's held up as the perfect soldier. Why is he constantly questioning orders? I don't understand this jarring transition from Halo to Mad Max. Every time we go to Rebel, it's Mad Max. Every time we're where Master Chief is, that's Halo. And that dumb slave scene, that scene was unadulterated cringe. Then you go back to sci-fi space opera. Everyone keeps treating Chief like he's a famous hero. He hasn't done shit yet. He hasn't defended Earth. He hasn't stopped the Covenant on the Halo rings yet. He really doesn't have any massive achievements. So why the hell does everyone know him? But bro, I totally forgot Soren was even in this series. But I'm glad he got serious screen time early in season 2. He's a very good actor and I like his character. His wife and all the other shit in Rebel, not so much. Can someone explain that interaction between Silver Team and Cobalt Team? I had some serious flashbacks to junior high with some of those sick burns. Can somebody get a consultant from the actual military in here? They have no idea how Marines or SEALs or anybody talk to one another. I've heard more realistic, compelling banter coming from LARPing Arma players. I'm a little confused. I know the Barton visor should record audio, and there is a question of hallucinations. Couldn't you just review Chief's helmet footage? They don't even give an explanation why that's not the case. It's not even brought up. I still hate Kwan Ha. I still hate her guts. And that chase scene was pretty freaking bad. Some of it didn't make sense. She's flipping guys with one hand off balconies, then slamming guys' face with ease. Then the final guy she kills with the sharp tag that was in her ear, she doesn't stab him through the soft spot, like through the temple or some shit. She goes to the front of his cranium with one hand. Make it make sense, boys. Chief in this series is an awful leader. When they are training Riz, she's clearly injured. She keeps failing the exercise over and over again. She's getting harder and harder to get up. So Chief keeps telling her to run it again, run it again. He can see that there is something wrong with her. She's in obvious pain, but disregards this and keeps forcing her to go to the objection of Kai. And even Bannock, after one fall, was concerned, since it seemed like she lost consciousness for a bit. My thoughts on the first 2 episodes, the visuals are very good. The action sequences remain the high point, except for Kwan Ha chase sequence. Can you please kill her off already? She sucks. The writing went from cringe-inducing with no redeeming quality to fairly boring script that's passable. It is a fairly big jump in quality between seasons. They gave screen time to the best characters, Soren and Riz, as well as the new to the series, James Acherson. I've been reading Ghost Onyx with the intro of him into the series since he's a fairly big player of the foundation of the Spartan 3s. I'm wondering when that comes into focus. Once you accept it's going to deviate greatly from the original timeline, it's a fairly interesting watch. I'll miss Noble Team not defending Reach, but regardless of that, I'd probably give the first 2 episodes a B-. Solid, but could use some improvement. Now, episode 3. I'm going to have to take back most of the kind things I said in the first 2 episodes, because this hunk of dog shit. Cause the writing just takes a nosedive. It starts off, John goes against command. because the commanding officers are either stupid, corrupt, or maybe they're both. So they go on a mission to investigate what happened to the Cobalt team. Turns out it's a trap. Turns out the Marines are there waiting for them and arrest them. They never tell you how they found out or when or how they got there first. This show sometimes thinks their audience is so stupid. Anyways, they have a brief standoff, but ultimately Jimmy and the Super Friends surrender. I think the scene with Ackerson with his dad, they attempt to humanize him so he isn't completely evil, but as the series goes along you realize he's completely stupid. But I will get to that in episode 4. That's when his stupidity is at its peak. In the next scene, you have Jimmy and the Super Friends are getting disciplined by Admiral Keyes. Shows them a falsified flight plan, and Jimmy says, "Hey, that's not what it showed yesterday." And the Super Friends look at him like he's crazy. Cause there's no way that a military that kidnaps boys and girls that are 6 years old and create flash clones that die weeks later so their parents won't come looking for them, put pellets into their heads to suppress their emotions, also pump them full of drugs, which kills half of the recruits, would never ever imagine of falsifying records to cover something up. This whole scene is moronic, and the Super Friends are unbearably naive. Then you go to Rubble. Man, Rubble should have been cut from this entire series. This whole subplot contributes nothing to the main plot, drags the whole pace of the show to a crawl. As soon as I see we're in Rubble, I just want it to be over. Anyways, Soren's wife attempts to blend in like if you wore a Chanel and Armani suit to a homeless shelter, and then attempt to blend in. Then she gets beat up by Quan. Frickin' Quan. I hate this character the more and more I see her. I was hoping she would have gotten glassed on our planet. Soren's wife, that's what I'm calling her, because that's the only reason she's in the show. Soren's wife finds out his crew mutinied on him. Why the hell is this shit in a Halo show? This plotline is stupid, and I'm rooting for the crew to kill this chick so we never ever have to go back to Rubble. You find out later in the episode, Command sacrificed an invaluable asset for nothing. They did get sent to Visegrad and got killed for it. It was a real shocker there, boys. 4 of the most expensive ground assets the UNSC have got butchered for what? Please let me know, because from my perspective, not a whole lot. Now it's time to slow down an already tedious episode with more pirate crap. Soren's wife is captured, gets put on a ship, Quan saves the day and kills all the pirates. There, I saved you like 10 minutes of some of the worst TV you'll see this year. Oh, also, Quan abandoned her son and sent her away. I have no idea why. Anyways, Jimmy meets with a former admiral, and then he meets with Perez, and then there's explosion. How does this show have a filler episode when there's only 8 episodes you have to write? This episode was boring, and basically nothing of consequence happens. The grade I have to give this piece of shit is an F. Everything I hated about season 1 is in this episode. Slow, nothing to do with the fall of Reach, bad political drama, too much diversion in the form of the space pirate crap, dumb decisions by everyone, sacrifice your second best team of Spartans for recon, dumb, believing Admiral Keyes and Oni, who repeatedly lied your entire life over your fellow Spartan who's exposed those lies, dumb. The whole space pirate thing, dumb. I hate everything about this episode. Now, episode 4. It's good, but with this show, there's always a but. Definitely the 4, the action in this episode was first rate. The pacing was very good. I even enjoyed the Saren and Halsey shit at times. But the logic of the choices of Ackerson behind the scenes, it makes no sense. Even though he isn't even in this episode, he ruins it. He has got to be the dumbest character in this show. Let me walk down his stupidity step by step. First, get 4 Spartans killed, then leave behind Cortana rather than destroying it or taking it with you. So now the Covenant have all your data and can access all of your information because of this bonehead decision. Then you take 4 suits of Mjolnir armor, but the only people that can use it, the entire Unit C has, what, 33 Spartan 2s total? And through this man's stupidity, you've lost a quarter of them for no reason. It would have made a whole lot more sense if you threw Vanek, Riz, and Cryo. Then took Jimmy's armor because Vanek, Riz, and Kai are still doing what they're told. The only one questioning orders and disobeying orders is Jimmy. So if you just left Jimmy on Reach, it would have made more sense. And let's be real here, this is the weakest telling of the Fall of Reach. It was better in the game, and it was better in the books. While this episode is good, Fall of Reach is a layup. I'm sick of these people giving so much praise to a layup that they mostly didn't screw up. They had some epic deaths in line with that of Emil and Carter in the games. There's also stupid ones, like Cats. I'm one of those people that the why matters. Once you poke up the decisions made by people in charge, it feels very forced to cool plot points than actual logic. Like Admiral Keyes going outside to decouple a fuel line. Couldn't a no-name soldier do the same job rather than risking a major cog of the chain of command? Why did the Admiral have to do it? I refuse to believe there wasn't some Marine on this ship with him. Keyes' death felt very pointless. Vanek's death was anticlimactic. I'm having a hard time recording this death because it's so stupid. Anyway, I didn't think you could do this from the games. Anyways, Vanek shoots a couple needles at an elite. It sticks in the chest of the elite. The elite takes the needle out of his chest and stabs Vanek with it, and he dies. What the hell? Vanek just got Boba Fetted. There, I said it. The coolest of Silver Team with the worst death. What are we doing here? But overall, I'd grade this episode an A-. Overall, the first half is basically what I thought it would be. Great action, good CGI, with passable acting and poor writing. And that's what we got. So at the midterm, I would have to give Jimmy and the Super Friends a C+. A much improved effort, but that's more of an indictment of how poor the first season was. Let me know what your report card of Jimmy and the Super Friends would be at the halfway point. I know this video seems super negative, I know that, but I just want this show to be great, and it's not. It's just not. It's barely good, and I have a sneaking suspicion it will never be great. It's frustrating. It's super frustrating, guys. These decisions make no sense. At the core of it, I don't think these writers understand Halo still. They don't understand the characters. They fall so very flat when it comes to Master Chief. I will continue to call him Jimmy and the Super Friends because he is not John 117. Not even close. I saw a flash of it in episode 4, but it was just a glimmer until they proved me otherwise. I don't enjoy watching this show. When the action is going on and I'm seeing the Spartans at their best, it's fun. It is. But this shit where they steal their suits. So you're watching Jimmy and friends be glorified Marines. I don't want to see that. I've seen so many shows with Marines in it. It's all been done before. I just want to see John 117. And I'd rather see Blue Team. I just don't understand what they're going after. You bastardized the lore for what? Why didn't you just start with the Fall of Reach through the Eyes of the Noble Team? Nobody wants to see Jimmy Rings and the Super Friends on Reach. Anyways, I hope you have a great day. Please like and subscribe, and y'all have a great day. God bless.